Ladies and gentlemen, we're certainly glad to be here tonight.
Welcome to the Moon Men Podcast.
Don't be afraid.
A little escapade of mine involving a couple of planets which shall be nameless.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
We're just gonna do this, okay?
Wait, I have a joke for you.
Hold on. Let me clear my throat.
Okay.
Don't say it while I'm clearing my throat, because then I'm gonna have to cut it out, or it's gonna sound weird, or I'll have to keep the in, okay?
Sorry, you're going through puberty shit. You're trying to make your voice sound manly.
No, I'm trying to clear it out, because it's all nasally. You wouldn't believe what going in and out of coolers all day does to your fucking nasals.
It's gonna get you sick. That's what's gonna happen.
My lips are chapped constantly now.
Mine aren't. Do you want to kiss?
Is that your joke?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't funny. It's just weird.
This one is a sexist joke.
Oh, we haven't done one of those in a minute.
I know.
And after the spooky hour, I think we should bring back album of the day, because we were slacking and then we just forgot.
No, we just stopped because I don't listen to the albums.
But I like doing it. I don't give a fuck about these people.
That's true.
Okay, that will pick up. Who the fuck is honking?
They're turning on their...
They're honking.
Not honking.
Not honking. It still sounds the same.
So do you want to hear the joke or not?
Yeah.
Why are hurricanes named after women?
I don't know, but I know it's gonna be good.
Because when they come, it's wet and wild, and when they leave, they take your house and your car.
Oh my god, that is magical! Holy shit, that was a really good one. They're wet and wild.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a shout out to all the women out there. We love you. You know, feminists.
Free the tit or free the nip. There you go.
Did you hear that in Germany, women are now allowed to swim?
Oh yeah.
Without their tops.
Yeah.
Just like men.
Yeah.
I'm for feminism. I want it to be known right now. I am for feminism, and you and I are going to Germany next summer.
Mm-mm.
What do you mean? Mm-mm.
What we can do, right?
Yeah.
Is we could bring back peeping toms.
What?
Yeah. We could
Why?
bring that back.
Why would we do
that trend?
I'm not gonna do that. I've watched Back to the Future. I see what happens. He almost died. Okay, I'm not putting my life out there for some fucking pussy. Especially because here's the thing with peeping toms that gets me, right? One, you're never looking at a hot girl. Let's be honest. All the girls that we all know on a day-to-day basis are average or ugly at best.
Okay, let's stop there.
Let's just be honest here.
We got to stop that.
Or underage. So if you're a pee tom and you're looking at people's windows, you're not looking at quality here.
First of all, I'm only joking. I don't want to bring peeping tom.
Number two,
I'm only joking.
When you're looking at porn, it's like the top 1% of women. It's supposed to be hot for the most part, you know? But I'm not going to sit here and advocate for porn, so where does that leave us?
Where does it leave us?
Welcome back to the Moon Man Podcast, everybody.
I really do not.
I'm your host, Evan, and the Peeping Tom endorser is your co-host, Eddie.
I was only joking.
You should see him over here. He's using his hands and everything. He's like, I don't mean it.
I don't mean it. It was only a joke. Oh man, it's hot in here, huh?
Dude, I'm fucking stoked. Okay, we're recording. Don't just. Let's just hope it doesn't pick up. Let's just pray.
If it picks up, then my freaking neighbors are nosy.
Yeah, his neighbors are being noisy, but when aren't they?
Yeah.
I'm stoked because we're doing another in-person episode, which seem more and more rare these days.
Yeah.
But
we're taking it back to the scamdemic.
Scamdemic?
Yeah.
Why are we taking it back to? I don't understand.
Because we weren't allowed to see each other during the pandemic.
I still came over.
Came over one time.
It was a very important time.
It was a very important time. I still remember that time.
Yeah. But nothing stopped me from going to see people during the scamdemic.
Really?
Yeah, I was even sharing vapes with people, but that's probably why I ended up with Corona. Let's be honest. And supposedly, I don't know.
Whatever.
I was waiting for the activation call. I was like, we're dead. We're all dead.
Yeah. This is not. We can't have normal conversation during the spooky hour.
That's not normal. That's about the government controlling us and people staring into your windows at night. This fits. You know, we got peeping toms. We got government conspiracies.
Right.
You know, I've missed you though, and this episode's very last minute, guys. Normally we record like a week and a half in advance. This one comes out. This is Tuesday or Monday. This is Monday. This comes out in like 2 days. Like you guys are gonna hear that. Like whatever. Moving forward, we're doing creepypastas today, or as Eddie is calling it.
What am I calling it?
You were saying campfire story.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Campfire. What do I go ahead with?
I don't just we're doing campfire stories. Mainly they're just CAMPFIRE song. Can you do it fast?
No.
I
could barely talk slow. What makes you think I can spell fast?
Can you try it for me just once?
CAMPFIRE. Nah, I can't.
That sounded good for half a second.
Yeah.
That was really hard for half a second.
Yeah.
CAMPFIRE. Oh, I did it. Okay, moving on. Yeah, we got 5 stories lined up for you people.
You got 5?
Yeah, you got 3. I got 2.
I thought you had 3.
I'm not doing 3.
I thought you had 3.
Fuck no, we're keeping this short.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you?
What? You're short too.
No, I'm taller.
You're like
than
half
you.
an inch.
I'm taller than you.
Doesn't mean shit.
An inch. It doesn't matter if you.
Are you 5'9"?
I think.
No, you're short.
No, I'm 5'9".
Nope, you're shorter than that, bitch.
I'm 5'9". I'm taller than your brother.
No, you're not.
I'm the second tallest in our group.
No, you're the third.
No, I'm the second.
Oh my god, I just realized I'm the shortest in our group.
You are
like,
shorter.
I knew it in the back of my head, but talking about wait, this is too regular. We're going too regular.
Yeah.
This is spooky hour, people.
Yeah.
But me and Eddie have been craving to have these regular combos. You don't even know.
Should we say fuck this topic and just have a normal episode?
No. People like the spooky hour. You just don't want to do your scary stories.
No, it's not that. It's just I miss these kinds of episodes.
Yeah, I know. They're coming back. This is a taster. They'll be back in November for the rest of the year. This is the one time a year we get to do my thing. Can we just do my thing, please? Okay. Do you want to start us off or do you want me to go? Oh, wait. We got 5 stories. They're all campfire, creepypasta stories. Some of them may be real. Some of them may be fake. We don't know. We just grabbed some stories.
Yeah. Devin did a last minute. I kind of did last minute.
So, yeah, I had 2 stories 2 weeks ago, but this episode got delayed 3 times.
Yeah.
So that's why we're doing it like 2 days before this comes out. And I completely forgot my stories. So I pulled one out of my ass last minute and I got another one ready. So go ahead, Eddie. Take it away.
All right. There's one word. Actually, no. I'll just pronounce it however. It's a name.
Wait, what's the name of the story? Introduce us. Say the name of the story and the author. Give the author their credit.
Oh, fuck. Devin.
You don't have the fucking author?
No, I don't.
God. Or you're not reading it verbatim. What's the name of the story then?
It doesn't have a title. It just says, Ask Reddit. And then.
Oh, okay. Well, then say this is an Ask Reddit story.
Yeah, it's well, all of them are Reddit stories. I'll just
What's the topic? What's the question, I should say?
What's your scariest campfire story?
I should have done that. Those are nice. That sounds like a good one. I'm going to listen to these when I go. Wait.
You're going to listen to them now.
I was going to say I'm going to listen to these on my way home, but I was like, that don't make no sense. Go ahead, Eddie.
All right. So, this is a really short one.
That was short.
Yeah.
Is it over already?
Yeah.
A fucking car drove by.
It was a motorcycle.
All
right, one. I'm reading it word per word.
Go ahead.
For the first time.
That's fine. I'm really excited for this. You have no idea.
One year, a group of us went camping in Kearney, Ontario, where we were always going camping. Whenever we go, we always form our tents in a big circle with the fire pit in the middle of us. We've been drinking, smoking a few joints, and a few of us were tripping balls on shrooms. The first night we were there, this guy randomly walks into our circle, introducing himself. I can't remember the name he gave. That he was in the military and decided to take some vacation to camp out a bit. He asked if he could join our fire as it was getting late and he didn't buy any firewood. Why couldn't he just use firewood? I just realized that.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that. I'm like, if you're in the middle of a forest,
you could just use branches.
I think it's
illegal.
I know you can't cut down trees in a forest, obviously, but you could probably find fucking firewood in a forest.
You could just break down branches. Whatever. Okay. Being the friendly stone people we are, we let him in our fire. He even pitched in some money for the firewood. That night...
They're buying fire again. They're buying wood. Like, are they giving it to the fucking trees?
Maybe.
Here's your son back. Thanks for the wood.
Maybe it's illegal to use the environment. I don't know. Are we recording good?
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks good. The things are making their things.
All right. The night went on, and we were still having a good time. One by one, our group started heading off to bed. Me being either the second or third, I remember waking up to the sound of someone talking and the fire being started. It was 4 a.m. I peeped out my tent and saw the random just sitting on the log by himself, talking to himself.
Yeah, that right there is when you're like, I'm going to go lay back down in the tent.
Still tripping on shrooms, I thought to myself. I am in no condition to deal with this, and I chalked it up to me just tripping out. I wake up the next day and everyone is still alive, thankfully, and the fire is smoldering. We look to the next campsite where the random was staying, and it was completely spotless, no garbage, no tracks in the trail around the site, no nothing. We started talking about him just to be sure we all saw him. Through talking, we managed to figure out that he must have not slept at all. The last 2 of our group passed out just after 3:30 a.m. The first person got up just after 6 a.m. and noticed he was gone. The rest of the camping trip went well, and we all went home. Fast forward maybe 4 to 5 years, I flip on the news and there was a picture of someone I swear I could remember. He was arrested for a bunch of crimes, including rape and murder.
Jesus.
Guess who it was? It was a random guy who joined our fire. I don't know why I remember his face, but I guess it was just a weird situation where my brain right-clicked and saved as a JPEG in my brain. Now I have no way of proving it if it... Were you gonna laugh at that joke?
What? No.
Oh.
I'm fucking stone-faced over here.
No, it's because I heard you go like...
I went...
Oh.
I'm breathing. I have a weird nose.
Doesn't matter. It was the end of the story. Now I have no way of proving it. It's the same guy. We didn't have any picture of the guy, but the picture jump-started my memory and made me instantly remember the weird random fire joiner. Either that or they looked identical to the same person. Either way, it was creepy. Dude,
that's like the story we were saying last time with the brother who took his younger brother camping, and then a bunch of people were raiding their site. Like, camping is fucking dangerous.
Oh, that's where I heard that story from. Because I'm like, I remember this one story where these 2 people went camping, and they had one of them had a gun or something, and it was because of us.
Yeah, it was our own show. Dude, I swear, we'll talk about things, and I'm like, why does that sound fucking familiar? Who's telling me about this? And then I hear it like a week later. Anyway, that was a good story.
To start it off, yes.
Yeah. You want to go camping?
No.
We're supposed to go with Matt.
We can't.
Why? Did he leave already?
He left a month ago.
Oh, shout out Matt.
No, he didn't leave a month ago. Technically he left a month ago, actually. Yeah, he left a month ago.
I miss you, Matt. I was listening to bits and pieces of our episodes. You're a funny dude.
Yeah,
funny
dude.
Let me know when you're back in town, or text Eddie, because I'm terrible at answering. Anyways, that was a nice story. I'm going to give that 3 chocolate bars out of 5.
Okay.
I got a random creepypasta here that we're going to read live for the first time. This is exciting for both of us.
Is it long?
So, it's titled Freak Next Door by Adrian Johnson. You guys can go find it on the Creepypasta website if you want. Please don't sue us, Creepypasta. Maybe I'll cut some of this out. I don't fucking know. They're all strict with their shit. Anyways, here we go. I lived next to this one kid who always had bandages wrapped around their whole head, even covering their face. I remember his name was Wilbur, a 12-year-old boy who never left his house. He sometimes looked out of his bedroom window on the top floor at all the kids who would play outside, while Wilbur sat and watched. I remember his windows had metal bars on them, so there was no way he could climb out of his bedroom windows. What the fuck?
He's living in Harry Potter.
He's living in on the south side in a Mexican town where they have all the bars on their windows. But that just, it's extreme.
It's probably the south side of LA.
but there's no 2-story houses in the south side of LA.
Oh, it's true.
But he's in the second story just looking out from the window like a jail cell. That's creepy.
Yeah.
Or fucked up. We sometimes communicated to each other by writing to each other on pieces of paper. since Wilbur can't hear me because the window was locked. Wilbur only does it when his parents aren't around since they're weird. Weird, huh? His parents are weird. Yeah, they're really fucking weird. I told you, people, live reaction here.
Oh man,
I was not expecting that. It's getting dark, Eddie. The room just changed.
Why is it so dark? Holy shit.
Leave it. It's a vibe. Don't fuck with the clouds, Eddie. It's a vibe. Okay.
Oh man. Wait, hold on. Are you gonna be playing creepy music like you did?
Yeah. But I'm gonna cut it off whenever we talk.
It's gonna work perfectly.
Okay, what?
It's gonna work perfectly when we start laughing.
Yeah, it's gonna work.
You should do like the record sound and the music gets cut out. Whatever. Okay, keep going.
No, yeah, that's a good idea. I'll try that. His mother and father were one of those parents that were insanely crazy about science and chemistry, according to Wilbur. They would stay in their basement and work all day and night.
They were cooking meth. That's what they were doing.
Yeah, they were fucking cooking meth. Except at the times where they had to give Wilbur some food daily. Now, they're not treating him like an animal. His parents were just very busy. They told Wilbur that he shouldn't go outside and make contact with anyone until his face got better. He told me that he accidentally slipped on one of his parents' chemicals and fell face first, ruining his appearance. And his parents feared that he would be made fun of by the other kids in the neighborhood. I remember one time, a couple of older kids were throwing rocks and pebbles at his windows, laughing and pointing at Wilbur as he looked down at them. He told me that they do it a few times, but he's used to it. But to me, he's a great guy, and still is today. I have never been inside his house, but he showed me some cool stuff he collected, like comic books. He had loads of them, from Marvel to DC to other non-superhero comics. He was a huge superhero fan. He even said that he felt like a superhero. A normal human being who became affected by dangerous chemicals and then became a powerful superhero. He once wrote on a piece of paper and had it put up on his window as he pretended to be a superhero. I had a collection of action figures and video games that amazed Wilbur. He told me that he never played a single video game in his life. That's fucking sad.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, he even put, which is quite sad.
Wait, hold on. How's he talking to Wilbur? Is it like
he's using a pen and a pad and they're like looking out? But see, that tripped me out too because there's bars on the fucking window, so he wouldn't be able to read the messages correctly.
The way I thought is like maybe Wilbur's on the second floor and he's on his lawn and they're talking like that.
No, I think they're using the papers to like write on a big ass fucking notepad, but something like that.
Oh.
He also told me that his babysitter took them away from him before he could play them and burnt them in front of him. Fuck. Wilbur had a mean babysitter named Mrs. Fitzgerald, a tall, mean lady who never liked kids at all. If you don't like kids at all, why would you become a babysitter?
That's true.
That's like the worst. Like, I fucking hate dogs. Hi, I'm your veterinarian. It's like, what?
I fucking hate people. I'm your doctor.
That's the last doctor I would go to. I fucking hate you. Here, take this. What's it gonna do?
Oh.
It'll make you feel better. Maybe. This started before his face became messed up, he told me. She's basically every kid's nightmare. Mrs. Fitzgerald had babysat many kids before, and trust me, it was not pretty. Wilbur told me that the last kid she babysat, a 4-year-old girl, she made her live through 7 hours of hell. I just saw your stupid hand come up.
Yeah, 5.
Wilbur said that Mrs. Fitzgerald starved her and surrounded her bed with a few bear traps. And the worst thing that happened, the parents didn't know about her deed. She would lie to them just to get paid. All those things I've heard. She is a foul, cruel woman with no soul at all. And now she had to babysit this poor guy. Wilbur was old enough to make his own decisions, except for some, but his parents apparently hired an evil witch. The parents had to go to Texas to a science convention, so Wilbur was left alone with her. One time I was writing about her to show him, but then I saw Mrs. Fitzgerald forcefully pulling him away from the window, and I didn't see him for the rest of the day. The next day, when I looked through my window to see Wilbur, I saw someone lying down on his bed. Looking at the person's wrapped head, I banged my fist on the window trying to get Wilbur's attention.
Wait, how?
I don't know. We're just moving past it. Okay, this guy's a fucking idiot. Sorry, Adrian, whatever. I don't think he's gonna listen to this. He slowly sat up on his bed, wiping away tears from his eyes. He seemed to be crying, which gave me a thought. Okay, one, obviously he's fucking crying. He's laying down on his bed like a princess with his hand, whatever.
That's how I sleep, on my stomach.
I had a worried look on my face as I saw bruises all over his arms and legs, a faded dark tone of purple. He went to write something down on a piece of paper. Then as Wilbur finished writing, he went up to the window and pressed a note on the glass. What he wrote had terrified me. The whole situation still burnt in the back of my mind, something I knew I would never forget. He wrote, "Help me." What made it worse was that his handwriting was scribbled onto the paper, and it was almost illegible. Wilbur kept banging on the window with his other hand.
It probably didn't say help me. It probably said like, hi, or something else.
I don't know. I could see him saying help me and then banging, trying to get out. But like, why are you banging? Like, let me read and process the information and think of a plan. I haven't even
He's
signaled.
banging on the window, grabbing more attention to himself.
Yeah, I know. He's just going to make the situation worse. He's never been in a hostage situation before.
Yeah, clearly.
There's an active shooter. You're putting everybody here at risk. You need to calm down.
Yeah, don't stand up and be the hero. Just lay down and play dead.
That's what they did in Hacksaw Ridge, and then he became a hero.
Yeah, he kicked a grenade into the next universe.
Hey, whoa, that's theoretically possible. I've seen people do it, okay? Then suddenly, I saw someone else run into his bedroom next to him. It was her. You know who.
Who?
You know.
Voldemort?
Yeah. She who should not be named. She had something in both of her big chubby hands. Okay, one, I wasn't picturing a chubby chick, so now you just ruined the whole.
I was thinking of Vicky the entire time.
I was thinking of like a tall, skinny, older woman. Now she's chubby. It's a last minute wrench in the fucking puzzle here.
The story isn't that scary at all. We're making fun of it.
This story is fucked up. It doesn't deserve to get the chance to be scary. She had something in both of her big chubby hands. In one hand was a lemon, and in the other hand was a pair of scissors. Not the lemon! Not the lemon! Yeah, if I was a kid getting lemon juice on my fucking bruises, I'd be asking to get out too. This isn't scary. What Mitz Fitzgerald did terrified me even more. Mrs. Fitzgerald ran up to Wilbur, grabbing his head, holding it still. I saw him screaming in pain and fear, so I knew I had to do something.
No shit. No, you're just gonna stand there and let him.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks for the show. At the same time, I couldn't stop watching. What a fucking jackass. She used her scissors to cut open the bandages and unwrap them off his head and threw them to the side. What I saw almost made me vomit, something that sickened me. I was utterly shocked at looking at Wilbur's real deformed face. That's fucked up, okay? You made him insecure over something he can't change. He's deformed. You don't have to say you almost had a vomit.
I know. That
fucking prick.
That is fuck. How can you call him?
He even said he was the coolest person ever, and then he sees him. He's like, "Oh, I almost vomit." What a prick.
Yeah.
His head was completely covered by bandages, and what was underneath, I knew the purpose too. I saw his face, almost melted off, showing a dark red layer underneath. I could only imagine his face looking like melted cheese on a cheeseburger. What? Wilbur's whole face, even one of his eyeballs, were burnt a bit. The chemicals had messed him up badly. Mrs. Fitzgerald sliced the lemon in half with the scissors, pinning Wilbur down on his bed. Then she threw the scissors to the side, next to the bandages, and held his head still with one hand. With the other hand, she squeezed the lemon slice onto Wilbur's head, into his eyes, into the red layer of his face. The painful expression on his face, his loud muffled screams, his face stinging from the acid of the lemon juice. She used the other lemon to squeeze onto his face again. I thought she was going to squeeze it into her mouth for like nourishment. She's like, "We don't want you to get scurvy now." Sorry, bad joke.
That was a bad joke.
It was extremely bad. If somebody laughed at that, I'm going to feel like you. She used the other lemon to squeeze onto his face, torturing Wilbur with extreme pain. What's the whole thing with the writing? It's show, don't tell.
Yeah.
They're literally telling us that Wilbur's going through pain.
We already knew he was going through pain.
I could kind of fucking figure.
Yeah, with the bruises and everything. Yeah, I think he's been through pain.
He's been going through pain. His life is pain.
Yeah.
And his parents are weird.
Yeah. and Mrs. Fitzgerald's fat.
And she's fat. She has chubby hair. Like, that's the only thing she said was chubby. Like, what if she was completely skinny and just has some chubby ass fucking arms and hands?
Maybe she got stung by a bee and it made her hands chunky.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I don't know if I could be with a girl who just had chubby hands, you know?
Weird.
Wait, we're going too much into normal episode territory.
Yeah, we're making jokes. It's supposed to be a serious episode, but
this is a breather for you. You know, we've been doing a lot of scary. You've been getting freaked out. This is a nice little breather here.
Yeah.
I decided to bang my fist on the window, which was a bad idea. Mrs. Fitzgerald looked over at the bedroom window right at me. I jumped back. She noticed me. She ran back out the bedroom, shoving Wilbur down as he screamed in pain and agony. I knew what she was going to do, so I ran out of my bedroom and ran downstairs. Where is he at? He ran out of his bedroom. Does he live with Wilbur now?
Okay, like let's say they live across. Let's say they're using the notepad and everything, right? First of all, you picked a bad story.
I should have screened it, but you know what? This is content right here.
Back to what I was saying. Let's say they're using the notepad and everything, right? And he was banging on the window. How the fuck is she gonna hear someone banging a window from across the street?
Yeah, like if they're living from across the street or even side by side, I wouldn't fucking hear it. That's the whole reason they couldn't talk. Or else they could have just been screaming to each other like a bunch of deaf guys.
Yeah. Or like for example, I can't.
Hey, you hear me? That's fucked up.
I think you have to leave that one in.
That was the worst joke I've ever done, I think. I feel bad about that joke. There's no way I can leave that in. Okay. Whatever. She heard him, and he ran downstairs. The good thing about this situation was that my parents don't know about Wilbur. About Wilbur, and the fact that they were at work for a little while. I locked the front door, hoping that Mrs. Fitzgerald wouldn't burst into my house.
And would have waddled up the stairs.
So he was in his house. They were talking through the bedrooms. He gonna make that a little bit more clear.
Yeah.
I looked around for the house phone, but as I was, a loud bang rang my ears. I looked behind myself at the door, noticing her red, sweaty face and her curly blonde hair. Why are you giving us her description now?
Hold on. How the fuck did she get through the house unnoticed?
I don't know. Apparently she's fucking chubby, so you'd think you would hear her coming.
Yeah. Or like if you're still looking out the window, you can see her running at your house.
I don't know. This is a bad story.
Yeah, this is like it's poorly written. I'll say that.
By the looks in her eyes, I knew there was going to be some trouble. She kept banging at the door, nearly screaming her head off. Nearly screaming her head off. So she was like on the verge of screaming her head off.
So was she like, no, she wasn't at the right vocal.
She was like, yeah, I don't know. What does that even mean? I was hopeful for this story, but I don't even want to finish it. Like, I don't care what happens.
I kind of feel like finishing it.
Okay, we'll finish it. She kept banging at the door, nearly screaming her head off. As I looked around for the phone, I finally spotted it, next to the couch on the coffee table. I ran towards it, dialing 911 as the sound of Mrs. Fitzgerald's threatening screams were heard from outside. Waiting for a few rings, I finally hear the operator's voice, the usual greeting from a 911 operator.
911, what's your emergency?
I started explaining the whole situation from beginning to end as quickly and clear as possible. They told me to wait patiently as the police will arrive at my house soon. It took a few minutes for the police to arrive at my house. I'm going to read it how he wrote it. Not only did they arrive, but my parents arrived early from work as well. Apparently, they got a call from the police explaining my situation and decided to come home.
Wait, how did they?
I don't know. They must have a system. Or the police come up to the house and they're like, that's Jenny's house. Let's call Jenny. She works down at the plant. My parents were extremely worried and frightened. They asked me more questions about it than the police did. I had to explain everything from being friends with Wilbur to how his parents left him with an abusive babysitter to what she tried to do. About an hour later, a police officer came to me. He had something he wanted to tell me about the horrible atrocities that took place next door. The truth about the babysitter, the parents, and Wilbur was truly shocking. Uh-oh, this better be a big fucking reveal here.
Imagine it was like,
Benjamin
it was all
Button.
a dream, or this guy is Wilbur, or
Okay, make your prediction right now, because we put a lot of time into this story, so this better be a good fucking reveal here.
Oh, you want me to guess?
Yeah. What's your prediction?
I'm gonna guess that his parents was Wilbur's parents.
Okay, that's solid. I'm gonna guess the babysitter was a serial killer.
Okay.
Based on the evidence they found, Wilbur's parents weren't his actual parents at all. They adopted Wilbur from an orphanage that's out of town, only to perform an experiment on him. It was the reason why they had moved to Texas, to hide.
Oh, it's in Texas?
Yeah, I guess. We find out all this information really late. The babysitter, Mrs. Fitzgerald, was part of the experiment too. In fact, Wilbur wasn't the first kid to get adopted by the scientists. They had done illegal experiments on those orphans, and it was to find out how much pain a child can take before death, based on the cause of death and the age of the child. 38 children between the ages 2 and 13 were reported missing, and Wilbur was one of them. There were security cameras on the outside and the inside of the house. Right now, they arrested Mrs. Fitzgerald for child cruelty and the deaths of many children, and are on the case to find the 2 scientists. All of that, and I was friends with someone who would have been killed if I didn't call the police. Apparently, Wilbur also tried to lie about almost everything he told me. He was trying to protect himself. He was sent to a new trusted family, a married couple who lived out of town. Since then, I never saw him again. Until now. 20 years later, I went to a bar to get myself a few drinks, by myself. Just me, in the streets, when a man approached me.
Was that actually
No.
written? Oh, okay.
But like, it sounded like the whole thing, right?
Just me, one man, in a car, at
By
the
myself.
bar.
Yeah, it sounded like a rap.
Yeah.
Remember me? He said, that familiar man smiling back at me. I smiled back, realizing how long it had been since I had last seen Wilbur. In fact, he looks like a nice, healthy man now. Without his bandages, he was a brown-haired man with blue eyes. He almost looked like a complete stranger. And after that, we talked, and we drank a few glasses, finally speaking to each other in person. Wilbur and I knew that nobody would try to keep us apart. This sounds like a fucking love story now. The scientist and the babysitter are probably locked away right now. After all, I couldn't stop thinking of the fact that this man would have been killed if I didn't help save his life. What a stupid story. I called it. They were serial killers.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they were.
The scientific serial killers.
Yeah.
I give that 1.5 burnt marshmallows out of 5.
Yeah, it was entertaining.
All right. Go ahead, Eddie. Take it away. Now it's my chance to sit back, listen, and laugh. Okay. Well, not laugh. Yours are actually interesting. I'm so sorry, people. I thought that was going to be scary.
So you just based it off the name, huh?
Yeah, I saw Freak Next Door. Let's go.
So this one's called Campfire Stories. Just label Campfire Stories. and I can't tell if it's who the author is. Who's the author? Is it Mr. Outlaw or No Sleep?
No Sleep is the subreddit.
Oh.
Mr. Outlaw.
Okay.
So when it has the U/, that's the user.
Oh, okay. So it's from this guy named Mr. Outlaw. It's a pretty hefty one.
Go ahead.
All right. I was a camp counselor over the summer. 3 days into the camp, we took the kids on a nighttime hiking trip into a nearby forested hill. There were 5 of us, counselors, and 15 kids, all around 12 to 14. We only hiked for about an hour before coming across a clearing and setting up the fire. While it got dark, the forest wasn't exactly daunting. What does that mean?
Scary.
Okay.
Challenging.
Safe to say it was looking pretty uneventful. Safe to say it was looking to be a pretty uneventful night. I should note that at one point during the hike, one of the counselors, Mike, went to go take a piss in the trees. Coming back about 2 minutes later, the only peculiar thing about the occurrence was that he was relatively deep in the woods. Probably further than he really needed to. He probably just wanted to make sure that he was absolutely out of sight beforehand.
Well, yeah, you don't want to be whipping out your fucking dick in front of a bunch of kids.
Exactly. This will be important. That last part will be important.
Yeah.
As we started cooking up s'mores, the counselors and the campers began telling spooky stories. None of them stood out. That was until Mike began telling his. All right, I've got one, he said. So a group of counselors and campers go hiking one night at a summer camp. I rolled my eyes. He was going to tell that angle, but the kids seemed invested, so I just silently listened. They go up on a small hill, Mike continued. And then they sit down at a clearing and began telling campfire stories. Everything seemed normal until one story was interrupted by a sound in the woods. He paused for a second.
Was that the sound? I was gonna say sound in the woods. That would freak me out.
He paused for a second, and right on cue, there was a rustle in some nearby trees. Okay, I thought. That was slightly clever. The kids seemed extremely tense by this, but some of the other counselors were smiling, so I assumed they were in on it. So one of the counselors gets up to go check it out. He gestured one of the female counselors, Amy, for a second. Amy looked confused, but Mike just gestured again. Eventually, she took the hint and got up, going towards where the sound occurred. She came back moments later, only to report that there was nothing. She still seemed confused, which caused me to question if she was really in on it or not. Mike went on. When the counselor came back, she said there was nothing there, but she was wrong. Mike smiled. Although it was a weird one, something subtly frightening about it. I could sense some genuine fear creeping up on some of the kids' faces as well. There was tension in the air, Mike went on. Everybody could feel it, but nobody could describe it. I'm not sure if it was just a mental thing, but my skin prickled when he said this. The air around us did indeed feel like it had changed, in some inexplicable way. Everybody else just looked like they were experiencing something similar, all wrought with faces of discomfort. Another sound came from the woods, he said. This time it was laughter, as unnatural as a laughter could get. I nearly got a heart attack when that came from right behind me. Everybody sat still, all too afraid to look, and then they realized something. One of the kids was missing. That was the last straw for Danny, another counselor who stood up. Mike, what the hell is this? Mike didn't respond. Andy scanned the kids and went white. Somebody count them. We did, as he asked, counting 14 kids in total. 14. Oh shit, Andy said. What happened? I don't know. Claire, another counselor, spoke up. I swear we were keeping an eye on them the entire time. Andy turned to Mike. What the fuck is going on, Mike? Mike smiled before continuing his story. During the chaos, they heard footsteps coming from everywhere. Suddenly, a cacophony of heavy stomps began sounding in every direction. Cacophony means like in every direction?
Yeah, it's just like a bombardment.
Jesus, Claire shouted. Mike, this is too far, Andy shouted at him. The kids had begun huddling together, fear plastered across their faces. Mike's face suddenly became serious. One of the kids was suddenly dragged into the woods, and Andy went to go chase after them. We heard a scream and I turned around just in time to see one of the campers disappearing into the forest. I couldn't make out who or what had done it. Fuck, Andy yelled out before going after him. Mike let out a cold laugh, but Andy wouldn't get so lucky. Before I could do anything, Amy went after Andy as well. They were dating, leaving Claire and I alone with Mike. I got up, storming over to him and punching him square in the jaw. For some reason, I thought if I could get him to stop talking, all the shit that was going on would just stop as well. Now I say that I'm a pretty strong guy, and I put up just about everything into that punch. But Mike barely reacted to it, even though the strike stung my own hand like hell. Mike glanced up at me, his face stuck in that obscure grin. The last two counselors. I turned the other way before he finished the sentence, rounding up the remaining campers and telling them to beeline it out of there. Claire followed suit, and we began booking it out of the forest. We couldn't hear Mike or whatever following us, so I let myself breathe a little bit. Still, I knew this was going to be hard to explain once we got back. At some point, we saw a figure wandering out of the woods. I stopped in my tracks, not really knowing what to do. The figure groaned as it meandered its way into the moonlight. It was Mike? The actual Mike, I guess. His clothes were torn and his head was bleeding. His chest was also exposed, with what looked like some strange symbol carved into it. I don't remember exactly what it looked like. He looked up at us, asking, "What happened?" in a shaking voice. Before I could respond, he passed out. I began to run over to him, but stopped when I heard Claire scream. I turned around and another camper being dragged into the woods. Fuck it, I muttered to myself before yelling at the rest of them to keep going. We left Mike before bolting it the hell out of there. There was some more commotion behind us as we ran, with the kids being dragged into the surrounding woods left and right. It couldn't have been helped. At a point, I could hear faint cackling coming from somewhere indistinct, but I knew who it was coming from. When we finally made it down the hill, my lungs were about to collapse. I looked back, seeing that there was only one remaining camper plus Claire left. Both exhausted and having the blood drain from our faces, we simply stared at each other, and then the kid began smiling. The counselors had escaped, but that wasn't the end of the story, he said, in the same tone that the fake Mike was using. Upon hearing that, I lost it and began running against my body's pleas to rest. I heard Claire once again screaming from behind me, but again, she couldn't be helped. When I got back to the main camp, I entered my cabin to see if my supervisor was there. He wasn't. I was about to go looking for him, but I was so tired that I had to rest first. I made my way over to one of the beds and plopped down, planning on simply staying there for a few minutes. But when I woke up, there was sunlight bleeding through the curtains. Somebody was shaking me awake. It was Blake, my supervisor. "Come on, man, get up. Time for breakfast. Go shower, though. Jeez." "Wait," I said to him. "I have to tell you something. Tell me after you shower," he said before leaving. I got up and chased him into the dining hall. What I saw there made me freeze. All the counselors and the campers that had been on that hike were all there. Blake turned to me. What you want to talk to me about? And where's Mike?" I quickly scanned for Mike. I hadn't noticed that he wasn't there for the first time. As I began stammering for an answer, the fake campers and counselors all turned to face me simultaneously. That left me a complete loss for words. I ran out of there, got straight into my car, and floored it. I didn't let myself breathe until I got back on the highway. I didn't want to think about the aftermath, but the implications of leaving a situation like this. I reached into my glove compartment for a pack of smokes, but I felt my hand touch something that wasn't there before. It was a tape recorder. I pulled it out against my bitter judgment and I pressed play. A grainy, familiar voice began oozing out of the device. The last counselor thought he had gone away, but little did he know our paths will cross soon.
Damn. That was a pretty good one.
Oh, fuck, that took a lot out of me.
I'm going to give that 4 out of 5 skulls.
Why wasn't it a 5? Because of my stuttering?
No, just because the story itself is a good story, but like it's a little dumb, you know. Like the fake clones are taking over the camp, and what's so scary about the fake clones? I mean, is the new Mike better than the old Mike? You don't even know.
Nah, he was
what, telling an interesting story, engaging with the kids.
He was yodeling people left and right.
So everybody was at the breakfast table the next morning enjoying a nice time, you know.
Those are the fake ones.
But I didn't see anything wrong with them is my point. It's just the story itself was interesting. You know? Like, I don't like stories that do that, because why are we supposed to be scared of these clones? Because they're not the real people? So fucking what? I mean, is this new person better?
Well, to be fair, the new clones killed the old one. Yeah,
so if a new Eddie came and killed you, I'd be like, do you still want to do the show? And if he was like, yeah, sure, I'd be like, all right, I'll see you on Wednesday. You know? Like, do you share his memories? Yeah, for the most part. All right. I mean, like, what? Why'd you kill him?
Just because?
Gonna be 2 of us. All right. I'll see you on Wednesday. We'll record some episodes. Like, what am I supposed? Oh, dude, is there a new Devin? Yeah, probably. Is he gonna clock in and work for me? Yeah. Take him. Take me. Let me have a smoke before I go and just fucking blast me. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was supposed to be scared of these clones. He seemed like a chill dude. He was over here engaging with the kids, telling a funny story, taking them on hikes. Didn't seem like a big problem to me, you know?
Yeah, he does seem like a nice guy.
All right. The next one is my story, and I'm not just saying this is my story. I wrote this story. It's called, what did I name this? Bloodstained Secrets. Jeez, that's kind of dramatic.
ChatGPT.
You didn't need to tell him that, okay?
It didn't age well with ChatGPT.
I used ChatGPT to help me think of some titles, and I rearranged this one. This is what we got, okay? This is my story, and I sent it to Eddie a couple weeks ago, so Eddie, you can tune this out, but this is it.
Thank God.
It's in the form of diary entries. Here we go. August 15th, 2006. So, I know I haven't been on here in a while, and I apologize, computer. I know you love my daily ramblings, but I thought it was best for me to just take a step back and not focus so much on the woes in my life. The whole reason I even started this journal, well, virtual journal, was so that I could deal with my stress in a healthy way. Lately, though, it was becoming something else. I had read back through some of my recent entries, and I wasn't a big fan of what I saw, especially the ones I had written during the Hawaii trip. It just seems like I'm doing nothing but dwelling on things wrong with my life, instead of trying to chart down my thoughts. I get that in some form it's still healthy, but I don't like the way they make me sound. Like some big whiny baby. It's like the only thing I was doing was complaining for pages on end. I know that virtual journals are a lot different than physical ones, and I'm not going to be handing this down to my future grandson telling him, learn from my mistakes, or here is my life, or anything like that. But I just can't sit with the idea of leaving behind some false image of myself. No, I'm not a crybaby. I'm not a drama queen, despite how often my mom feels like she needs to remind me that I am. And I'm most certainly not perfect. I am, however, trying to deal with my life the best way I know how. I've made mistakes, lots of them. I'm not proud of most things I've done, but I try, you know. I feel like that should at least make up for some of my faults. Honestly, I'm forgetting my point here. I know it's likely no one is ever going to read this, but I feel like I have to take a stand to defend myself, since everyone else in my life is going out of their way to break me down. I'll be my own cheerleader if I have to be. Anyway, that's it for now. I guess I'll see you tomorrow, journal. August 18th, 2006. Angela and I had a fight last night. It's been happening more and more often now. I know that's a corny line you only ever really hear in movies, but the sad reality of my world is that it's true. I thought I had settled things down for now, but it's all ramped up again. Even as I'm writing this, she stares at me from the kitchen, angrily washing some bowls. She knows how important this journal is to me, so I don't understand why she has to go out of her way to make me feel uncomfortable. Yes, I'm a bad husband. I get it. I should have told her I was going out with some coworkers for a drink. No, I will not disappear again. Sometimes, with the way she treats me, it makes me wonder if she knows. I know she can't. I know there's no way she could or does, but the thought hits me sometimes. Maybe it's just stress. I thought going out would help me alleviate some of that, but it's only caused more. Guess I'm gonna be sleeping on the couch tonight. Not that she's making me, but I feel like it would be better for the both of us right now. What was that old saying? Never go to sleep mad at each other? Yeah, well, I'm guessing the asshole who thought up that advice never had to deal with the sensitive egomaniac who loves to make issues all about her and throw temper tantrums in the middle of the night. If only I had known about all of this before I said I do. Anyway, Angela left, so I'm gonna go watch some Beyond Belief while I fall asleep. See you soon, journal. August 19th, 2006. It's early. 6:14 a.m. to be precise. I had to write down what I saw somewhere. I had to write down my dream. I don't know what the fuck that was, but my hands are shaking as I write this. So I passed out on the couch, watching TV like I said. The house was quiet and I was asleep. I thought I was having one of those sleep paralysis things because I woke up and I couldn't move. I tried, but my body just felt heavy. I glanced over at the clock and it had only been 10 minutes after I fell asleep. Then, the next thing I knew, someone was at the door. I couldn't actually see the fucker, but I knew he was there. I could feel it. I knew he was just standing outside. Sorry, I'm back. I had to go take a piss and I used that time as a chance to calm myself down. So, after splashing some cold water on my face and relieving myself, I feel good to continue. I want to get this out before I forget. So, in my dream, I woke up on the couch in the position I had fallen asleep in, unable to move. I forgot to mention that when I woke up, I felt this overwhelming sense of fear. It was heavy. I don't know if that's what was keeping my body from being able to move, but it figuratively and literally held me in my place. I drew my attention to the door, and I could feel a man standing on the other side. He didn't ring the doorbell or knock, but I knew he was there. I could feel him standing there, almost as if he was staring at me, like he could see me through the door. As weird as all that was, I felt like I was falling. The next thing I knew, a large hole had formed underneath me, and I fell into this dark abyss inside of the couch. I fell for what I thought was hours, but it passed by quickly at the same time. Then, I got this sense that I was about to hit the bottom, and boom! I fall right back into my body and wake up gasping, my hands shaking. I checked the time and it was 6 in the morning. I don't know what the fuck that was, but fuck me. I'm calm now, but thinking about the whole thing still sends a shiver down my spine. It's early, but I'm gonna get ready for work. I don't want to be in this house right now. I'm getting ready to go to bed, and it looks like it's gonna be another night on the couch. Angela got mad at me for leaving early to work. Started a big fight. Now, I can't even go about my day without a fight starting. August 20th, 2006. Nothing to report dream-wise. It was all quiet on that front last night, although my neck is starting to feel sore from sleeping on the couch 2 days in a row. I talked with Angela earlier. She seems calmer. She admitted she was more on edge these past few days. I don't really blame her. Work has had her stressed out for a long while now. She told me she was just dealing with some things, on top of everything else, but she refused to share anything more with me. Sometimes, I wonder if we'll be able to make it work, you know? I get scared that maybe we rushed into this relationship, and in a few years, one of us is gonna wake up one day and just realize we don't love the person laying next to us. I know I shouldn't even put that out there into the universe, the secret and all that, but that's what's been on my mind now. How could it not be? She agreed to let me sleep with her in the room tonight, but we're not exactly on the greatest terms still. We've had our ups and downs before, but this one is weird. There isn't a precise reason for her to be upset with me. It just seems to be more overall. She's stressed from work. She's stressed with me. She's just stressed. She's making me stressed. Maybe we need to get away for a bit. August 21st, 2006. I saw him again last night. Well, not really. I should say I had a dream again. That's more accurate. But I didn't exactly see him. The man, the same one from my other dream, came back last night. I heard him downstairs. I woke up and this time I was somewhat able to move. At least I was watching myself in the dream move around. But all I did was sit up on the bed and look over at the bedroom door. The same sense of dread hung around me, but it was dulled down a bit. It wasn't as strong. Somehow, I knew the man had opened the door downstairs and entered the house, but that was all I was able to see. After that, the blankets wrapped around my neck and started to strangle me. They pulled me back into the bed and basically choked me out until I woke up gasping. The weird thing is, my neck was sore this morning when I woke up. I'm pretty sure that it has to be from when I was on the couch. I don't like that I'm seeing this man again. It makes me wonder if he'll pop up tonight. It's a little later in the day. I wrote that last part down when I got home from work. I copied what I had wrote down from a napkin that I took from work. I almost forgot everything, but I'm trying to keep it all contained. I'm supposed to be asleep right now, but for some reason, I'm actually scared of laying down. Plus, I don't feel as tired tonight. At least, that's what I'm trying to tell myself as an excuse to stay up. Earlier, I tried having sex with Angela, but she turned me down. Again. This has been ongoing for months now. I've been getting more and more urges, but she keeps pushing me away. That's what really has me worried about her. Not the sex per se, but what it signifies. I always heard that when the romance dies in a relationship, the relationship itself is not too far behind. And listen, I've tried being romantic or whatever. I've been trying to spice things up. Nice dinners, fancy dates, even using more foreplay. But none of it works or has worked. I'm still mad at myself, but at the same time, I can't really blame myself. August 22nd, 2006. He walked into my room last night. I woke up and I felt the man in the house. I could tell he was making his way over to the stairs. I couldn't move last night, just like in the first dream. I even tried shouting, but nothing happened. For some strange reason, I even tried rolling over to wake up Angela or something. I'm not so sure. I knew I couldn't do anything, but I just felt so helpless, so I had to try. The feeling of fear started to build at that point. It engulfed the entire room and pressed down on my chest. That's how I had known he was close. It pushed me further and further into the mattress until all I could think about was trying to escape. All I wanted was to be free of that place and that feeling. Everything felt like it was in slow motion, but it was all so fast and so blurry. It was just fear, pure unaltered fear, and the dread that comes with knowing something bad is about to happen to you. Just then, I saw the man enter my room. He was wearing a suit, a black suit and black shoes. His face was eerie. His complexion was pale white, almost ghostly. His eyes bulged out of their sockets and his hair was barely attached to his head. His thin lips were pulled back in a grotesque smile. As he approached the bed, my room contorted and bent. My vision blurred, and I woke up not being able to breathe. I tried to gasp, so hard that my chest and my lungs hurt from the motion. What the fuck is happening? August 25th, 2006. No man last night or the night before. I wish I could say that was a good thing, but now there's always a chance that he'll come back tomorrow. He'll come back the next night or the night after that. The fucked up part is that I'll forget about him throughout the day. I'll tell myself it's nothing and that it's just a dream. But every night as I lay my head down on my pillow, his face flashes through my mind. I see his smile. I see his eyes staring at me. It's like he doesn't even have eyelids. It's really putting me on edge. So much so that when I come home, the only thing I can think about is him coming back. He hasn't done anything, but I just can't get rid of this feeling of something bad happening. I know he's coming. I can feel it. I hate it. I haven't been worried about Angela lately. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. It seems like she needs some alone time. I wish I could explain to her what this is or what it means to me, but it's hard now. As much as I love this journal, it's made it hard for me to open up. I wish I could show her, but I can't. Plus, even if I did, she wouldn't understand. She would just tell me the same things. It's just a dream. It's not real. It can't hurt you. She wouldn't get it. She wouldn't know what it's like to wake up in a state of pure fear, so true that your body spasms from the shock of it. The breath is stolen from your lungs. Your hands shake for a few minutes after waking up. She would just tell me to get over it. I'm a man, aren't I? Then why am I making such a big fuss? I'm just being overdramatic. I'm being a drama queen. I need help. I feel so alone. I'm scared. I'm so scared and I have no one to tell. August 29th, 2006. I see him every night now. He's been visiting every single night. Every single night. Every night. Last night, he just stared at me. He does that a lot, but his face was less than an inch away from mine. I was staring into his soulless eyes, face to face. He smiled the entire time. Other nights, he would just stand at the foot of my bed and stare at me. My feet. One night, he stood over the corners, hitting his head against the wall over and over. I haven't been sleeping well at all. I don't really know what's real anymore. He's breaking me. I know it. I know. He's breaking me. I can't sleep. No matter where I am or what time of day it is, he finds me. Listen to me when I say it. I fell asleep on the couch in the middle of the day. In the light, he stood staring at me. He put his finger to my lips and shushed me. He started peeling his face off. He laid next to me one night staring at me while I looked at the ceiling. I'm scared. I'm so scared. I keep calling out of work. Angela hasn't noticed, has she? I don't know. I keep talking to her, but it feels like a dream. She doesn't answer. She doesn't even look at me. I don't know if she's a real person anymore. I need to sleep. I need to sleep. I don't want to sleep. I need to sleep. I'm so scared. Something is coming. I saw it in my closet. I saw it in my bed. It's here. He's here. He's been here. Help me. He's her. September 1st, 2006. You're going to die. I said. You're going to die. He said. He told me. You're going to die. She told me. She said. You're going to die. He said. He kept saying. He stood there. He told me. He said. You're dead. He said I was. He stood at my bed. He whispered to me all night. He said. He told me I'm dead. He's going to kill me. He told me all night. He stood by my bed. When Jack arrived on the scene, it was already mid-morning. His partner Riggs had arrived 20 minutes prior and was apparently waiting for him. Jack exited the car and made his way to the house. An assortment of cars and people bustling about the place changed the scene, making it more movie-like. Less real. It was easier that way. Jack lit up a cigarette as he passed the officers guarding the area, nodding at them as he went. Riggs noticed Jack and left the forensics team to muddle over their findings. He waved as he approached. "Morning." Jack raised a hand in response. "Still smoking those Luckies?" "Until the day I die," Jack said. "Anyway, how's it looking here?" "In terms of procedure, fine. The crew's almost done as it is." Jack nodded. "And in there?" he said, gesturing towards the house looming above them. "Looks like a standard murder-suicide," Riggs said. "About as textbook as you can get." "What happened?" "Well, it's looking like the wife murdered the husband in his sleep." Riggs held up a handsaw sealed inside of a bag, bloodied and worn. "Sawed right through the poor guy's throat. Almost took the head with her." "Took the head with her?" Jack said, disheveled, then paused. "What about her? She used the saw on herself?" Riggs shook his head. "Well, after she finished sawing through the guy's neck, she slashed his face up pretty good. Apparently, we were only able to positively ID the guy because of his dental records," he said, sighing. "Anyways, she did some work to his member, cut it clean off, then dropped the saw and hung herself. Guessing she didn't want to go out as painfully?" "Can't say for sure. The boys found her hanging from the guardrail on the second story. Here." The young cop pulled out a photo of the scene. The woman, of course wearing a white nightgown, hung suspended in the air, her body up against the wall. Jack cringed at the photo, but did well to hide his disgust from his partner. "We took her down already?" he asked. "Yeah," confirmed Riggs. "I want to see the house. Any motive so far?" "We think so, yes. Turns out the guy cheated on the wife a couple months back during a business trip. I think they told me Hawaii. So the wife finds out and then saws the guy's head off?" Jack asked, making his way into the mouth of the house. Riggs followed closely behind. Shrugging, Riggs agrees. "That's what it's looking like." "How did they find all this out again?" "Diary. The husband kept a digital one on the computer. Didn't really detail the cheating exactly, but mentioned it plenty, especially after his trip. Guess the wife must have checked one day and saw. Not really sure yet, but the boys are still looking around up top to see if they can find any physical evidence." "Can I see the computer, or did they take it already?" "Yeah, it's right there in the family room. They dusted it for prints earlier, but no dice." Jack sat down behind the device, cracking his knuckles. Riggs stood anxiously behind him. "What are you hoping to find?" he asked. "Not sure," Jack said. "But it's not every day we get a case where we can just read what the victim was thinking, maybe moments before their murder." "What do you mean?" "Most people journal at night, don't they?" The men scrolled through the files, leading back to the past few weeks. 20 minutes later, the men pulled their faces back from the screen in horror, the weight of the last few entries sitting heavy on their minds. "What the fuck?" Riggs said. "Did I read that right?" "Yeah," Jack said. "I read the same thing." "So he was just a fucking nutcase then?" Jack didn't respond, only stared blankly at the screen before him. "You're going to die. You're going to die. You're going to die. You're going to die." The words raced across his mind, pounding against his temples. "Jack?" Riggs said. "Jack, you home, bud?" Jack didn't answer immediately. He turned and looked at Riggs for a full minute before daring to speak. "I saw him too." "What?" "Last night. I saw the man too. He showed up in my dream and knocked on my door." He paused. "I thought... Jack, you okay?" "He was wearing a suit. A dark suit. He just stood there smiling. I could see him from my room somehow. I thought he was just gonna stand there all night, but right before I woke up, he whispered something to me." "He whispered?" "Yeah. Even though I wasn't next to him in the dream, he whispered to me and I could hear him. He told me I was going to die. Over and over." What do you think, Eddie?
I think we should end it on that high note.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I think we should end it there too.
It's how long is it at?
We're at an hour 11.
Yeah, let's end it at that. Because my last story was kind of long, but I'll save it for the Halloween episode.
Yeah. That'll be good. What do you think of the story though?
It was 4.5 out of 5 chocolates.
Re-say that. We can't do a yawning one.
All right, it was 4.5 out of 5 chocolates.
Fuck yeah. I can't read my own story, but personally, I really liked it.
Yeah.
And I mean, out of all of these, I'd say it's the best written one.
Yeah.
Pat on the back.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that brings us to the end of the episode here. And again, if you guys were confused, I wrote that last story.
We did say I have 3 stories, but it's getting too late.
Yeah. Fuck the fucking third story. This is our show. We do what we want.
Yeah.
It's 6. Okay, we wanna relax for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
Because I gotta edit all this tomorrow and make sure it comes out on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Anyways, is there anything that you want to add to the
episode?
I just want to give a shout out to Alex. Thanks for all your recent feedback, man. I really appreciated, all your notes about the show. I hope you hear this. I love you. I'm gonna give you besos next time I see you, if I ever see you.
Wait, what'd you say?
Besos.
Wait, no, say that again.
Besos.
Are you saying pesos or besos?
Besos.
Besos?
Besos.
Besos.
Why are you so confused? I also want to give a shout out to Rob. We love you, Rob. Thank you for your weekly feedback. I don't know why Eddie's a bitch on some episodes and is strong on other episodes. I think it's because we were in person that last one, and also neither of us thought the last story was scary. You were the only one that thought it was scary. But yeah, thank you for your feedback. Aside from that, I love you, beautiful people, and I can't wait to see you next week. We're going to be doing the Halloween special, and it'll be premiering a day early on Tuesday. That'll be the episode for that week, and then we'll return the following Wednesday. All right, see you all then.
This concludes the Moon Men podcast. The end.